Yeah.
Yes.
I can't get out of here. Let me know.
Yeah, we do a little bit. I understand.
So, Bruce, can you turn on the air conditioning like you usually do?
I retired from that, if you recall.
Now, that's your permanent position.
I wish mine had put off already. Let's see, according to my,
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom lekulam. We are live on Facebook. We are starting right now. This is our second service that we are conducting together. So we already lit our candles here. We were trying something a little different. So if you have an opportunity to light your candles, this would be the chance to do it. We give a little tzedakah. And so we'll just take a moment as we all kind of light our candles and come together while I mute. And as we do that, we will sing together Shalom Aleichem. If you're following along in our Siddur, that's on page 16. But if you're using any Siddur that you have around or you're online, Shalom Aleichem is in the Friday evening service or the Ma'ariv service for Shabbat. I'm going to mute us all, but Cantor, if you could unmute yourself, because we would love to hear your beautiful voice. So I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. So say Shabbat Shalom to each other while we're still on.
Shabbat Shalom, yeah.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. So we're going to mute, and then Cantor, Yasher Koach to you as we begin our services. So what's really interesting is there. Okay. Hello, Cantor. How are you?
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. How are you?
Shabbat Shalom. I got a little nervous. I looked into your little window and you were not there, but then you appeared.
I was in another window.
He was in another window. So we want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom as we start with Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mochem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn our attention now to Lecha Dodi. In the last stanza, we will stand and turn to an entrance and to a door or wherever people enter into your home as we welcome in the Sabbath bride.
Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. La 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 lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zochor b'dibur echad. Ishmi'anu el ha'me'echad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shem tiferet beliti la 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 lecha dodi. Likrat kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene pene Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, Gam b'simcha u'b'sachala, toch emunei am segula, boichala, boichala. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lecha lecha dodi, likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela.
To you, Cantor, we turn our thoughts and our prayers to the evening service, the Ma'ariv Aravim, that we offer our gratitude for a chance for us to be able to experience life and be part of the patterns of the day, the evening, and the seasons. Ma'ariv Aravim.
El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Imloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Amari V'Rahavim. Amen.
With an everlasting love, you have loved the house of Israel, teaching us your Torah, its mitzvot, laws, and judgments. Therefore, when we lie down and when we rise up, we shall speak of your commandments and try to fulfill good deeds and rejoice b'simcha forever in your Torah and your mitzvot. Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah u'mitzvot hukim u'mishpatim Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shachbeinu u'vekumeinu nasiach be'ukecha v'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla ve'avatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Amen. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha, ubechol nafshecha, ubechol meodecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh, asher anochi, Metzavecha ayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'shachbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'eineinecha u'ktavtam Al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha.
Thus will you be reminded to fulfill all my commandments and be consecrated to your God. I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be a God for you. I, the Lord, am your God.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
So we turn now to Vishamru, page 64, if you're following along in our Siddur. If you can, please rise as we welcome officially the Shabbat.
Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru v'nei Yisrael et Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asod et ha-Shabbat, ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, Asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash veshamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam.
While we're standing, we turn now to the Ma'ariv Amida, which can be found on page 68. Motion brings emotion. So for us, as we move around with that beautiful song and jump, I know that you can feel a little bit of motion bringing that emotion and bringing us together in a new and different way, even different than what it was just a moment ago. And we continue standing, and of course our prayers, there are certain places in which we bow and we bend. The motion will connect us to the prayer. So we continue with the silent Amida. Take some moments for some personal prayer, some thought, and some meditation.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory.
O God, guard my tongue from evil and my lips from speaking guile. Guard my heart from hatred and my mind from harmful thoughts. Help me to avoid shameful speech as well as shameful silence. May my words be messengers of your will, humble in spirit, helpful in purpose, seeking justice and pursuing peace. O Lord, guard my spirit from weakness and my soul from gloom or despair. Strengthen my worthy desires that I may serve you in joy every day. Thus may I reflect honor on your holy name in all that I say and do.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'b'chol sha'a b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We now turn our thoughts to Misha Barach for those who are in need of healing spiritually, mentally, and physically. So if you care to place the name in the chat of the person that we are offering our prayers for, that way others can see. And let me make sure. Yeah, it should be working.
It is. It is,
Okay.
Rabbi.
Okay, thank you. So that way people can know how it is that we can be of support for those that others are praying for. One of the most important things in our tradition is shalom. Shalom literally means to fulfill or to make whole. And so when we ask for a shalom rav or a fuah shlema, we ask for completeness and we ask for others to be fulfilled. And one way is certainly through offering our support and offering our spirit and our considerations about how we can be of support to others. When we ask for a fuah shlema, we ask for a complete healing, but we understand that it is partially our responsibility to help somebody as they are on their journey to full recovery. Remember that in our tradition, if you visit somebody who is ill, it is considered that you take away 1/60th of that illness so that we have power to be able to help to heal. And we offer prayers now to hopefully help those who are in need. Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Makor Habracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Makor Habracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
May God send a speedy recovery for those in need, and let us all say Amen.
Amen.
Just a few words of Torah, and then we will conclude our service with Aleinu and Kaddish Yatom, and we'll make Kiddush together for Shabbat. This week's Torah portion is really a part of Moses's final speech. But what he's able to do in this week's portion, in the part that we read, he is able to bring together some of the most fundamental principles and values of the Jewish tradition. And we see it throughout the Torah portion, and it is something that we can apply to our lives today and in the coming week. We all know the importance of knowing where we came from. In fact, each year at Passover, that is the thrust of the holiday. Where did we come from as a people? We were a people enslaved. We were a people that were beaten, and we were a people that were trying, at least the Egyptians were trying to destroy us. We were people who did not have a home. We were people who were lost. We were people that were bickering amongst each other. We were not in a good place. We were in a place of Mitzrayim, a place of narrowness, a place of lack of understanding. Then what happened is that we were freed. We were able to get out of that situation. But each year we go back. If you remember, on Passover, we talk about where we came from and that what God was able to do for us. Where did you come from? Where do you have your story? Where is it that you believe you came from? It is so important for us to remember our history and where we came from. And we as a people came from a very low, low place. And when you come from a low place, and when you come from a place that is like Mitzrayim, when you come from a place in which there is no freedom, and you come from a place in which there is harshness and cruelty and abuse, when you come from those dangerous and dark places, when you find freedom, when you find peace, and when you're about to enter into the promised land, and when you're about to realize that you're able to live a different life, and you realize that you're able to live differently, there is nothing left but gratitude. There is nothing left but the ability to be thankful. There is nothing left but the ability to live in gratitude, which allows us to be in joy. And that's when we talk about the other festivals. We talked about Passover. It's saying quite simply, remember where you came from as a people. Remember, don't forget, don't forget. Don't get so arrogant that you believe that you made it on your own. Don't be so arrogant to think that what we have today came from our own work, that we were given the opportunity to be free. Then we talk about in this week's Torah portion, the next two holidays, or I should say chags or festivals. We have Passover, we have Shavuot, and we have Sukkot. Those are the three festivals. Those are the three pilgrim festivals that we observe as a people. And in those two remaining festivals, because of course Passover is the beginning, Passover is the start. Don't forget where you come from. The next two festivals say v'simchata, that you will be and rejoice in those days. You will realize that where you came from, the only thing left for you to know is gratitude. And from gratitude comes great happiness. If you truly are grateful, for what you have, look around. Look around at all the beautiful people on this screen. Look around at those that are sitting next to you. Each and every one of you I can see, at least most of you I can see, are at least in comfort. It's over 100 degrees out, and it's tomorrow it's going to be 80 degrees or 88 degrees at 9 a.m. And we're living in comfort. Everyone on this screen, everyone here, I believe, is going to be able to have at least some form of a meal tonight, or unless you already have had it. We are truly lucky. We are free. We are able to make choices. We have the ability to be here together. We have the chance to live our lives. That should and ought to bring great gratitude and great joy. I see it in some of your faces that you're smiling. Others are waiting for me to finish quickly. But once we are left with that happiness, and once we are commanded to be happiness, there is only one thing left for us to do. We know where we came from. We are grateful and happy because of it. And what is left to do is to give back, to be of service. If we truly are grateful, that is all that is left for us, is to be of service and to give back to a world that gave us so much. And that's specifically what the Torah portion discusses in two ways. Know the environment in which you live, be grateful for that, and what you interact with and who you interact with makes a difference in how you interact with those entities. First is kashrut, how we interact with the world around us and how we consume. It's not a world for us just to consume whatever we want and a world for us just to take whatever we want whenever we want. We need to have in our freedom restrictions around what it is that we can or cannot do. That we need to consider the other and not just consume and consume and consume, but consider what our consumption really means. Watch what we eat. Watch what we consume. Watch the water we use. Watch how we interact with the world. Watch how we use the world around us. And most importantly, I believe, is that in this week's Torah portion, it says, when the needy reaches out their hand, you shall fulfill their needs. It is imperative, not as a community, interestingly enough, it is speaking to the individual. It is up to you. Too often we wait for other people to do something. We write it off into another person's desk. I worked at the Federation for many years and people are happy to give checks and money, and so that other people can do the hard work of helping those in need. It is specifically told to the individual, reach out to those who are in need. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't write checks, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't worry about, as a society and as a community, how we help those in need. But we should look at how we individually are reaching out to other people who are extending hands out for help. Whenever anyone, anywhere reaches out for help, I want our community to be able to quickly and efficiently be able to help them. What we are left with is the most important lessons. Truly, do you remember where you came from? And if we truly are in sync with where we came from, we are left only with happiness and gratitude. From that gratitude and happiness, it ought to, and it does lead us to be of service. May we find ways this week to be of service to those around us, and may we remember that this is the time for us to find ways in which to serve. Shabbat Shalom. We continue with Aleinu. If you can, please rise, and it can be found on page 118.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breishit, shelo asanu kagoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umistachavim umodim, Lifnei melech malchei hamelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, shehu notei shamayim ve'osed haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim ha'al, u'shrinatu zo, begavei meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od. Emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatu betorato, beyadata hayom, v'hashevota elevavecha, ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim, b'shamayim mimha, ve'al haaretz, mitachat ein od.
Sovereignty is yours, and to all eternity you will reign in glory. As it is written in your Torah, the Lord shall reign forever and ever. And it has been foretold, the Lord shall be sovereign over all the earth. And on that day the Lord shall be one, and shall be acclaimed as one.
Kakatu b'toratecha, Adonai imloch le'olam v'hed, v'nehemar, v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz, v'yom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, Ushamo, Ushamo, Ushamo Echad.
May the memories which we cherish and lovingly now recall inspire us so to live that we too may bequeath a heritage of precious memories to those whom we leave behind. In tribute to our departed, may we enrich the lives we touch. May we share and preserve the faith which our mourners will now affirm as they rise to sanctify God's name in the hollow words of the Kaddish, which can be found on page 124. And this week's yard sites: Ted Clark, husband of Rena Clark; Joyce Goldman, mother of Arlene Gold; Betty Levine, sister-in-law of Irene Levine; Sylvia Lewenda, grandmother of Stephen Lewenda; Julie Lookholder, wife of Scott Lookholder; Teresa Surrey, grandmother of Yvonne Medoff; Linda Binder, mother of Wendy Wallerstein; Bernice Lewis, aunt of Judy Fine Eichner; Joseph Stern, father of Craig Stern; Ben Wallet, grandfather of Linda Zayon; Sylvia Goodman, aunt of Betsy Klein; Alice Nordman, mother of Norman Krieger; Ivy Progrosen, sister-in-law of Michelle Progrosen; Joseph Jacknook, father of Leah Schweitzer; Arthur Kane, husband of Lauren Kane; Leo Monteleone, father of Don Monteleone. We continue with the mourner's Kaddish, again can be found on page 124. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah vorach le'olam ulmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Say shalom bin Romav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God, who makes harmony and peace in the heights, grant us harmony and peace here for us, for all Israel and all humankind. And let us all say, Amen. I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. We conclude with the Kiddush for the Sabbath Eve. If you have a Kiddush with you, or I should say a koshel yain or some grape juice or anything like that, please join us. If not, the chiyuv can be on me, the obligation that you were able to hear Kiddush with us this evening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'yavav ratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila lamikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim. Ki vanu v'acharta, v'yotanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, v'yahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim, Shabbat Shalom. Want to wish you all a good Shabbos, and I will unmute so we can all extend a Shabbat greeting. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
Likulam.
shalom.
Shalom, everybody.